I'm Peter Brunier. I'm here with Cord Decker and Albert von Schweikert. How are you guys doing?
Wonderful. Good morning, Peter.
Good morning, Albert. Good morning.
Hello, good morning, Peter.
Tell us about your launching a wonderful reference quality speaker. I've had a chance to listen to it on 2 occasions. It throws a huge, detailed sound stage. It sounds as close to the real thing as I believe you can get. How did the speaker come about?
Well, in the 1970s, Peter, I was obsessed with 3D movies, and I'd seen them in the 60s and 70s, and I thought to myself, someday somebody can design a speaker that has such incredible sound staging and imaging that it would approach a real sound. And then, of course, distortion, reduction, and coloration is necessary for the speaker to not have its own, editorialization, you might say, on the effects. So you need great image focus, and then you need low distortion, low coloration. So I've actually been working on this since the 70s, this continuous refinement of the product. What we have here today is called the Universe, and it's a 4-piece system, as you can probably see from the camera angle. You have a pair of powered subwoofers to reinforce the sound from 8 hertz to 80 hertz. And then the main speaker system is operational from 22 hertz up to 70,000 hertz. It's a 3-way design. It's 6 feet tall. And in order to have the image focus and 3-dimensional soundstage replication, we have a combination of several effects. Number one is the fact that we have a very narrow baffle that's also time-lined. You'll notice that there is very little surface around the 2 mid-range drivers and the tweeter, so the sound waves can wrap right around. And then this is set back from the mid-bass drivers so that we have time alignment so that all of the waves from the drivers come at you in one plane as it was a single diaphragm. And although it is a 3-way speaker system, you're going to hear a single coherent source that's emanating from the ribbon tweeter and then further extended downwards in frequency by the twin magnesium mid-range drivers to match the sound quality of the magnesium ribbon tweeter. And then we have magnesium mid-bass drivers. And then last, we have magnesium coned subwoofers. So you have a uniformity of sound quality based on similar transducer diaphragms. All of the drivers were manufactured together by 3 companies as a matched set. The people that made the mid-bass drivers and the mid-range drivers were given the tweeter in order to be able to integrate their sound with it, and the tweeter manufacturer was given all of these drivers in order to blend their transit response and sound pressure level output with the other drivers, and the same with the subwoofer company. The gentleman that designed the subwoofer with us has had this entire prototype, and he voiced the woofer to match the mid-bass, the mid-range, and the super tweeters. So you have a single unified voice. In order to reduce the sound of the cabinet itself, we have what we call the tri-laminate cabinet construction, and it is composed of 3 different types of materials that are bonded together. There's a 3-inch thickness in certain critical areas of the cabinet, and it consists of resin, concrete, and hard rubber. And those all resonate at different frequency ranges, and they cancel each other's vibration out. It's the principle of opposing Q factors. And of course, we could have machined this out of solid steel or aluminum or magnesium or made a 2-inch thick or 3-inch thick concrete or ceramic cabinet, but we would have had a weight penalty. At 468 pounds, it's about half of the weight of another type of material that would have the same type of behavior. So we're saving on shipping costs and ease of movement throughout the room. All of the drive units are servo controlled to the mid-range drivers. The ribbon tweeter and the mid-range drivers are speed matched together, and then the mid-bass drivers are monitoring the back electromotive force of the mid-range drivers, and their speed in transit response are matching the mid-range drivers. And amazingly enough, the subwoofer is servo controlled, and it's also speed matched to the mid-range drivers. All of the drivers talk to each other through a series circuit. And so we have time alignment, phase coherent behavior from a point source with a narrow baffle with extremely wide dispersion. So we're able to achieve a 3-dimensional holographic sonic hologram.
Well, the system produces a virtual reality that is not unlike being in a sonic universe, your own personal sonic universe. It's quite an achievement. What's the manufacturer's suggested retail price on the system?
The 4-piece system is retailed at $140,000 for the system.
Now, the subwoofers are powered?
Yes, they have 1,600 watt Class D amplifiers, custom built for us by CI Audio of California.
Mm-hmm. The rest of the system today is a KR amplifier?
Yes, we have the Kronzilla amplifier that Core is one of the main distributors for. It has a gigantic wine bottle sized tubes. It has 50 watts per channel output, peak about 25 RMS.
The front end consists of the source components, a Purity line stage.
Yes, we have a Pure Audio line stage with 12 AU7 vacuum tubes, a Meitner D-Day converter, the DAC2X, which is an amazingly 3-dimensional sounding DAC with beautiful tonal purity and dimension. It sounds very analog.
Well, I can assure the viewers that the Kronzillas are one of the best amplifiers I've heard. One of our team has a pair of the monoblocks in for review, and they are making his Wilson large format speakers simply sing. So Kronzilla, big powerful amplifier, beautiful von Schweikert statement product speakers. Thank you, Mr. von Schweikert.
Well, I would like to mention a couple of the products that we're using. We're using the critical mass systems racks, which we believe are one of the finest racking systems available. And the music server is provided to us by a sister company of ours. A gentleman in the aerospace industry has been working on this machine. It's called YFS, Your Final System. And last but not least are the mid-bass amplifiers made by CI Audio. And those are the same amplifiers which are mounted in the subwoofers. So Dusty gets my hats off for his solid state engineering on those amplifiers. And I guess that's about it.
Very good. Well, let's sit down and do some listening. We'll spin up some en passant so that the viewers can hear a consistent track from room to room to room. Thank you very much, Albert.
Well, thank you, Peter. Thanks for coming by this morning.
Thank you very much, Peter. Thank you. Very good.
in the evening sunset. My thoughts are floating by in this oh so pink sky. A blessing that we all do share today. 'Cause you are my mind. That's where I am now. My mind is cool and calm. Yes, you are my mind. My eyes are seeing clear again. Yes, you are my quiet strength. My happiness is you. I am smiling for you.
Von Schweikert and Basson in the room with you. Beautiful sound.